a storm, be honest. Going through a storm right now, okay. How many women have been through a storm? How many women in here know that when this event is over, when you get back on the plane and when you touch down, there's probably a storm waiting for you? Yeah. We're gonna be real raw and honest today, okay? But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you guys how to live beyond measure. This is what I teach my family every day. This is what I teach everyone on social media every single day, how to live beyond measure and how to lead through adversity and how to lead through a storm, okay? Now my own storm started, prior to Christian, prior to what was happening with our family and what was going on there. I was in a storm myself, but I was preserving. Do you guys have your notebooks out? If you guys got your notebooks out, I'm going to suggest that you get your notebooks ready to go because I'm going to teach you guys something today. If we are ready, ladies, while you're doing that, I need you to look at your partner across from you. I need you to say, girl, we got work to do. I need you to look at the other girl and I say, girl, we got work to do. So here's what we're gonna do, ladies. I'm gonna teach you some things. I'm gonna show you some things. And I promise you, by the end of this, we're gonna be inspired, ready to go. And you guys are going to be able to lead into the next phase of your life, going back home to your families, okay? So here we go. I teach about foundation, and I teach about sand, and sand versus the foundation, building your house on a rock versus building your house on sand. Like these houses right here, they're built on a solid foundation, they're built on a rock. Now for me and my family, I was built on a firm foundation. I'm a believer, faith, family, and leadership, okay? And at this moment in time in my life, I was going through a crazy storm, but it was my foundation that kept me still. It was my foundation that kept me strong. Now, prior to Christian even being born, what happened in my life, I was going through the wildest storm in my life where I had no money. My car was being repossessed. I couldn't pay my rent. Everything was going downhill. Now, here I am, this cool dancer out here, but everything was going down because there was a recession that was hitting. How many people have been hit by a recession before, yeah? Okay? And at this moment in time, I didn't know exactly what to do with my life. My mom was calling me. She was saying, why don't you come back home? I'm saying, Mom, I'm 29 years old. I'm a grown man. I don't need your help. I want us to do this by myself. But everybody needs a firm foundation in their life. But what was happening with me is that I kept building my house on sand at the time, not remembering my foundation. And from there, I said, you know what? I was contemplating for 2 weeks whether to leave the apartment that I was in for 4.5 years or go back home to my mom. So I started to say, you know what, Kenny? Put your pride to the side, put your ego to the side, go back home. I go back home to my mom's house, and 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from my friend. He says, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. What's going on? He was like, your house is on fire. I said, dude, I'm in my house right now. He said, no, dude, I'm looking at the news. Your house is on fire. Ladies, the house that I was living in for 4.5 years, the house that had pride in it, the house that had ego in it, the house that had all these different things that God didn't want me to have in it, was literally on fire. I turn on the news, and there my house is on fire, the only one that's up in flames. And I'm saying to myself, wow, like, God, what did you just pull me out of? See, sometimes in life, we can hold on to our ego, we can hold on to our pride, and those are the things that keep us back from going to the next level in our lives. And for me, I had to sit there and say, you know what? This is a time to start preserving. Everybody write this down, preserve, preserve, okay? Preserve. Now, what did I have to preserve? Like an ant. Like an ant. I know we probably don't like ants. You guys are mamas. You guys don't like ants or anything like that. You don't like ants in your house or anything like that, right? No. But I want you to take the wisdom of an ant. What do ants do in the summertime? They store up food, right? They store up food in the summertime. They're preserving for the winter. Now, I come from the East Coast. I'm from Jersey, so I got a Jersey one. Hey, I'm from Jersey, so we don't get too many ants in the wintertime at all. But they're preserving, and at this time I was preserving my faith. I didn't know exactly what I was doing or why I was doing it. All I know was that I had to go back to the foundation that I grew up on and continue to preserve my faith for year after year after year. And then my son Christian was born. And I had no clue what trisomy 21 was. I had no clue what Down syndrome was all about. I had no clue. I had 3 children, and I had no clue what this was all about. All I knew was I have a beautiful baby boy that is ready for a father. Yeah. So in that time frame, Christian was born with a rare blood disorder that had gave him very low platelet counts, okay? And his platelet count was around 10 to maybe 15,000, really, really low. And he was in danger of having leukemia very, very early. But 14 months into his life, that's what happened. The worst fear, the worst thing. And at this time, I'm kind of back on my feet. I'm married to my beautiful wife. We had a brand new house, and I was owning a dance studio called the Level Dance Complex. Everything was going great. Everything was going amazing. But how many people know that when you're at a peak in your life, that valley is about to come and you're about to head back down, right? Life is all about peaks and valleys. But at this time and at this moment, this is where the preservations and everything came into play. I started to preserve my faith so much that I had to dish out faith when Christian had got cancer, okay? I want you to write these 4 things down. Number 1, remain sober-minded, okay? Number 1, remain sober-minded, okay? Number 2, be a tone setter. Be a tone setter, okay? Number 3, use your gift to make the shift. Use your gift to make the shift. And number 4, stay connected to the source. Stay connected to the source, okay? So number 1, remaining sober-minded. What does that actually mean? The doctor comes in, he says, Kenny, I gotta talk to you. We're thinking that we're gonna get regular blood work done. You know, some of you guys probably have been through the routine before where it becomes your new normal, where this is just our thing. This is just what we do. Christian was getting blood work done twice a week. And at this moment, we're thinking that we're gonna be in the hospital 45 minutes, cool, but 45 minutes turned to 32 days straight in the hospital. Not a bag packed, nothing planned. And my 3 children had to go stay at their grandmother's house for the entire summer. And I had to shut my dance studio down from going 6 days a week to 2 days a week. Why? Because in my mind, my son needs me in that hospital room. In my mind, I need to make sure that he's there. In my mind, I don't know these doctors like that. And I'm pretty sure that you're great at your job, but he needs his father right there by his side every step of the way. So I want you guys to write this next thing down. It's called a positive atmosphere, right? Create a positive atmosphere. So when we're remaining sober-minded, what do we normally do? What happens, right? Are you going to stay, going through emotions? Are you going to be drunk off emotions? Or are you going to go over and leap over adversity? Are you going to take a step back? The moment that my son was diagnosed with leukemia, I took a step back and I left the room. People say, why did you leave the room? I left the room because I had to go make sure that I got my play call from my source. I had to make sure I got the right play call from my source. When I got the play call from my source, he said, listen, create a positive atmosphere. I go into the room. I said, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to pray around Christian, around his hospital bed before an ounce of chemo even hits his body. And the moment that I did that, as soon as the doctors came back in, I said, listen, doc, here's the deal. Listen, I trust you. I trust your team. But here's what we're going to do. Every single person that comes into this room must have a positive attitude no matter what. You got me? Okay? No matter what. They got to have a positive attitude. I don't care if you're a nurse, a doctor, a tech. I don't care if you're a tarantula. You come in here with a positive attitude and that's it. If not, then you will be removed from the room. Now, the reason why I left the room in the first place is because sometimes, write this down, you got to remove yourself to improve yourself. I said sometimes you got to remove yourself to improve yourself. All right, so now, how do we win? How do we win? We win by tracking our well-being. How many people believe in self-care? Raise your hand. That should be everybody. That's right. Here's a crazy stat for you. 80% of women, ladies, y'all believe in self-care, yes? At least say yes. Yes. Okay now, right? We gotta get the hair done. We gotta get the nails done, right? We gotta look fly now. It's coming to the end of the summer, so you know Labor Day coming up. So I gotta make sure I get that last thing in before the cold hit. That New York City brick is no joke, right? But check this out, check this out. That same 80% of women, you guys serve 10 hours a day, everyone else, before you serve yourself. Woo! Am I right? Right? You serve everybody else before you serve you. There's a reason why we're overwhelmed. There's a reason why we feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. It's because we're serving everybody else before you're serving yourself. Now that's not being selfish, right? But what do they say, the cliche term when you go onto the airplane, put your mask on what? Put your mask on first, okay? That plane is crashing. You better put that mask on before you put it on somebody else, okay? You gotta take care of you. You gotta make sure that you're right. You gotta make sure that you're together. So we're gonna do a little exercise. You guys have some pens and papers right there. We're gonna do a little exercise, so make sure everybody has a pen and paper. That's right, we're gonna do some work. We're gonna do some work. Here we go. Do you guys really wanna know how to increase your well-being? Yeah? I'm gonna show you guys a great exercise on how to increase the well-being. Here we go. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, all right? Let me know when everybody's ready, say all right. All right, now, here we go. Okay. At the top of the page, I want you to write down these 5 words, okay? Work, going across. Work, family, kids, spouse, self. Okay, now if you don't have a spouse, okay, you can cancel it out, okay? If you don't have a spouse, or maybe like relationship, significant other, you can cancel it out. Boyfriend, girlfriend, or you can replace it. If you don't have a spouse, you can replace it, okay? So I'm gonna say the words again. Work, family, kids, self, and spouse, okay? Work, family, kids, self, spouse. One more time, work, family, kids, self, spouse. All right, so you're gonna write that going across. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna write down the word currently, and then under currently, you're gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So write down the word currently, a little bit down the paper, okay? Write the word currently, and then write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Going down. Going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going down. Okay? And then go across, and I want you to write the word ideal. Okay? Go across on the other side, write the word ideal, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. Self is last. Okay. Why are you last? You gotta take care of everybody, do you? You can't. You married him. You married the guy. She said, I can't trust my husband to do it. You might want to have had that written down before you signed up. Like, no, I'm playing. I get it. So, but let me ask you this, Tatiana. Let me ask you this. You're last on the list. God forbid something was to happen to you. Who's going to catch you? What was part of my well-being? What was the thing that I needed to do for me? Okay? Ladies, you guys like going to get your nails done and your hair's done. You know, you like a massage every now and again. Ladies, say yes. Say yes. All right now. My sister, I was on the phone with my sister yesterday. She said, you know, I go, you know, once a week to get a foot massage. She's pregnant, so she's about to pop. So those foot massages are very, very important for her. But she makes sure that she does it every single week for herself, right? Here's a stat that you guys may not know. 80% of American women believe in self-care. You guys believe in self-care, yeah? But here's another stat. 80% of those same women don't take care of themselves first. Can you believe that? Right? How many women in here take care of everybody else before they take care of themselves?
Right? How many men in here take care of, everybody else, and then they take care of themselves? Right. So some people didn't raise their hand, and that's okay, because I know everybody's not keeping it real all the way yet, but we're going to get there, okay? So with me being a dancer, with me being able to come out and do what it is that I love to do, my mom always told me this: Kenny, do what you love. I was supposed to go to college to be an architect. That's what I was supposed to do, in her eyes. I went for a couple years, I dropped out. I love dance, I love hip hop, I love getting busy, I love doing my thing, right? So at this point in time in my life, I took care of my well-being. I know what was going to make me happy. And I know what would make me happy would ultimately transition into making other people happy, okay? Me being on stage, me teaching kids, me teaching adults how to dance and be free within themselves gave me so much gratification. I'm like, man, I'm actually doing something in life. No, I'm not a millionaire. No, I'm not a billionaire or anything like that, but I'm actually doing something that matters to people, right? This is all about people at the end of the day. Today is all about you and how can I transition that to you. So it's not about my story, but my story is going to help you see it from a different perspective. So becoming a dancing dad, 7 days into my son, battling leukemia, check this out. I want everybody to say this: set the atmosphere. One more time, set the atmosphere. We're gonna build on that a little bit later in our talk, but here it is. When my son got diagnosed with leukemia, the doctors came in and I walked out. I'm gonna say that again. The doctors came in and gave us the news and I walked out. Why did I walk out? I walked out because, number one, I had to get my mind right. I've got children and I've got a wife. How can I make sure that they are okay mentally for this process and this battle that we're about to go through, okay? So what I did, I removed myself to improve myself. I'm gonna say that again. I removed myself to improve myself. The first thing I had to do was pray. God, what you want me to do? Because I have no clue on what's about to happen in here. Absolutely not. He says, set the atmosphere. I go into the room, I tell the doctor, says, listen, doc, I don't care if you're a nurse, a doctor, a tech, I don't care if you're a tarantula. Listen, at the end of the day, your crew that comes in here, they've got to have a positive attitude. They have to have a positive attitude. Why? Because if not, then we're not going to get to this next level in saving my son's life. I can't have any type of negative energy coming inside these hospital rooms, okay? So your people, get them on the same page and understand what it is that we're doing. I don't know about any other patient in here, but I know for my son, there has to be a positive attitude set, okay? So they have PT, OT, all these different things that are happening, and then they bring in the musical therapy. Now remember, I said I wanted positive, right, in my life. So they come in with the ukuleles, guys. Listen, I'm a hip hop dude. Ukulele, like, this is not going to help my son. He's going to get sicker. Like, what are we doing? So I said, listen, no disrespect. Listen, how about you guys, let's push aside the ukuleles. I'll handle the music, okay? Wifey, throw on some James Brown and let's get busy. So I start dancing with my son a little bit here, and he starts bouncing, starts moving, and he starts grooving. I'm like, I think we got something. And he's loving it. But on the flip side, I shut down my dance studio. I couldn't pay my rent, and I was losing money. But I had to make a decision. It was either my well-being or my finances and worrying about that. I chose my well-being. Part of my well-being was my family. I'm not going to stress about the money. I'm not going to stress about the rent for the building. I'm not going to stress about, the house. I believe that that's going to be taken care of, okay? And every day I would just dance with my son, okay? I started using my gift to make the shift. I'm going to say that one more time. I started using my gift to make the shift, okay? Your story and what you do is going to help you help others, okay? Your goal is to get people in a home. Your goal is to get people and make sure that they're secure, right? Use your gift and what you have inside you to put them in the home. It's not about selling them. It's about showing what it is and what your purpose is to get them to where they need to be, okay? Real leaders worry about the next generation. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Real leaders worry about the next generation. Your children's children, okay? Let's go to the next slide, Rocco. check this out. So I was saying earlier, okay, how many people have been burned out since 2020? Let's be honest. Burned out? Show of hands. Burnouts? Okay? All right, it's okay if you don't like this. That's fine too. Okay, I'll take that. My man in the back, I see you. Okay, burned out. 81% of workers are burned out since 2021 and 2021. 2/3 of employees say they are stressed out at work, and 81% of those workers said that symptoms range from fatigue, anxiety, physical ailments, causing them to miss work. Right? That's a crazy stat right there. 81%. What are we not doing? We're not taking care of our well-being. We're putting work before life. See, we have this thing called work-life balance. Everybody say work-life balance. Okay? But let me ask you a question. What's your name? Megan. Let me ask you a question, Megan. In that term, work-life balance, what word comes first? Why does work come first? Right? Before you knew what work was, what came first? Life. Think about that, right? We live in a world where it's all about the work-life balance thing, and we have people that are trying to tell us, you gotta make sure your work-life balance is okay. I believe work-life balance is a lie. Call me crazy, but it's a bold-faced lie, okay? Life comes first, okay? Then the work. The work is always going to be here. There's always going to be work, but what's not always going to be here is your life. I'm gonna say that again. The work is always going to be here. There's always going to be work, but what's not always going to be here is your life. So what's more important, the work or the life, right? The life that you lead will produce more work. I'm gonna say that again. The life that you lead will produce more work, okay? But if we focus so much on work, meanwhile, you got, Mom, can we go outside and play? Dad, can we go outside and play? The wife is calling. Can we go here? Can we go there? And we're missing out on so much. I'm not saying that work is not important. It's very important, right? But how do we get this thing into perspective?
See, I couldn't allow my son and my daughter and my wife to sit there and see me upset, to see me emotional. Why? Because I'm the leader. If they see that dad is panicking, then what's going to happen with them, with our followers? And sometimes we need that. Sometimes you need to go cry in the closet. Sometimes you need to go do your thing. And it's okay, ladies. I'm empowering you right now. It's okay to do that. It's okay to sit there and put that emotion, but when you're ready to come back to the battlefield, you come back to the battlefield ready to go and ready to take it to the next level. Amen. Here we go. Now, if y'all feeling it, say, all right, now, here we go. Listen. So at this point in time where we've remained sober-minded. All right. Number 2, be a tone setter. This is positive. This is setting that positive atmosphere in your life. So I had, you know what? I'm going to dance with Christian every day. And remember, I said the positive atmosphere. They used to bring these. You guys know. You guys got PT, OT. We have all these different things, right? Yeah. I can talk to you guys. You guys are my people. So they bring in these ladies with the musical therapy. Now, I'm a dancer for 20 years. And they bring in these ladies with these ukuleles. The DJ played my intro. That didn't sound like no ukulele, right? I said, listen, ma'am, no disrespect, but we're creating a positive atmosphere here. And remember, I said anybody that doesn't have that has to be removed from the room. So with all due respect, ladies, you guys got to go with the ukuleles. I said, babe, turn on some James Brown and we're going to get funky with my son. This is what we're going to do. So at this point, Christian hasn't set up by himself yet. Doctor said that he was going to get tired, said he wasn't going to want to eat. They said that he wasn't going to want to do anything. My son never missed a meal. My son took his naps regularly on time. 7 days into the chemotherapy, my son sat up by himself for the first time. For the first time by himself. And as soon as I put that music on, we was bouncing, we was grooving, we was moving, and I see him shaking his little hand. And I'm like, oh man, he's loving it. He's liking it. And when I say positive atmosphere, I don't mean just in the room. You know how some people may do when they don't understand? Oh, my son has Down syndrome. Oh, I'm so sorry. Why are you sorry? Don't do that. So I had to create it even outside of the room. So my wife was putting all our videos and everything online, and the next thing you know, we go viral. The next thing you know, I have messages from all over the world, people from all walks of life. And they're saying, wow, like this really changed my perspective. Not just on Down syndrome, just about life, period. And what happens a lot of times in life, people don't understand what anybody else is going through because they're so grounded in what they're going through. And that's when it clicked for me. This is not just about dance. This is not about me just entertaining people all over the world. And that's all well and good. But there's a bigger purpose in my life. This is about true leadership. Everybody write that down. True leadership.
Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that? Don't just say that just because you're your man. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe? Does anybody believe this guy right now? Yeah. Why is that? Why is that? Let me ask you a question. Let's just say, for example, the manager of the Phillies or the GM of the Phillies comes right in this room right now. Let's say I gave him a text and I called him up and say, hey, yo, listen, I want you to talk to my man Alvin. He got some skills. What would you say to him right now? You wouldn't know what to say, right? So he's not being specific enough. So why should I let him on my team? They don't care about the talent. Can you represent the organization is the question, right? Can we be very, very specific about what it is that we want? Now I'm grilling you for a reason, right? Because there's something inside of you that we need to pull out today within the next 35 minutes that is going to come out. You understand, right? And the reason why I want you to be very, very specific with what you want is because if you're not specific with what you want, then how will you ever obtain the opportunity when it arrives? The opportunity just came to you and you missed it because you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared with the specifics on how you're going to attack this thing, right? When I was dancing, I was very, very specific. I told my mom, listen, I'm not going to go to school. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And she slapped me. Literally, she slapped me. Upside my head though. Because she didn't think at the time that I was going to be able to do it. But I had it all planned out, right? And I was going to work hard. I was going to go to every single party. I was going to go to every single club because there was no YouTube back then and I didn't have money to go get lessons. But I was going to do everything possible. Why? Because it was in me. And from there, I started training and I ended up having 25 classes a week teaching, making $80,000 a year being a dancer. Single, right? Had my own whip, had my Audi, had my condo, had everything that I could ask for based off of dance because that's what I wanted to do. What this does for us is that oftentimes mentally we are filtering our thoughts and our negative thoughts in an indirect place, okay? And we don't know how to get it out. So oftentimes we will lash out on somebody or we're feeling frustrated or we're feeling overwhelmed and we're not getting those feelings out in the right way. So this exercise helps us say, listen, you're in a safe space now. Tell me what you hate. I hate the fact that I'm in traffic every morning. I hate the fact that they ain't get my coffee right. I hate the fact that I don't have any help at home, right? You get those things out. You could do this also personally with your families as well too, okay? How does everybody feel about that? Feel good? Awesome. Because listen, the last thing that we want to do, right, is go through an entire year in staying overwhelmed, okay? That we can't do that no more. It's time to go to the next level. We can't do that no more, right? Listen, I was in a hospital with my son, and they told me that my son was going to be fighting cancer for over 300 days. I said, you know what? I don't believe that. There ain't no way that I'm going to be in this hospital for 300 days. Ain't no way. So every single day, we would fight. Every single day, we would set the atmosphere. Every single day, we made it mandatory that we were committed to change, committed to the next level. My son didn't beat cancer in 300 days. My son beat cancer in half the time projected, shocking the doctors in 149 days, and now he's cancer-free. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Every single person in here has something inside of them that they were gifted with. You wanna know how my son really beat cancer? It wasn't just the chemo. It wasn't just the atmosphere that we set. It wasn't the awesome doctors that we had, except for that one. Actually, there's really two. Talk about that later. But with trisomy 21, that third chromosome that my son had, right? That extra chromosome gene in his 21st chromosome that he had helped save his life. Yeah. Because that particular gene was connected to that particular cancer. Anybody in here that does not have trisomy 21 that had the same exact cancer that my son had you had it, we would have a 30 to 40% survival rate. My son had an 80 to 90% survival rate because of that extra chromosome that was in his body. Use your gift to make the shift, y'all. Use your gift to make the shift. It's what's already inside of you. If you seek what's inside of you every single day, first thing in the morning, I guarantee you everything is gonna flow through. We gotta have a top shelf mentality. What do I mean by that? I want you guys to imagine that everybody ever walk into a banquet, walk into a wedding and seen a chandelier or a pyramid of glasses hanging. Everybody ever seen that before? Right? And it's like a fountain of glasses, yeah? Right? Listen, you're the top shelf. You're the top glass in your life. You're the top glass. You ain't the bottom glass. You're the top glass. You may be the bottom glass in somebody else's life, but in your life, you're the top glass. And I want you to imagine that the liquid that's being poured into, that's you receiving the gift every single day. The gift of life every single day. And as you get that gift, it's being overflowed into the next glass, in the next glass, in the next glass, in the next glass. All you gotta do is stand firm. All you gotta do is stand still, right? All you gotta do is make sure that you got a firm foundation, that you're building your house on rock and not on sand. Because we know you build that house on sand, as soon as that storm comes, it's knocking it down. But if you build that house on rock, you got that firm foundation every single day, setting that atmosphere. You know exactly what to do as soon as the storm comes. Top shelf mentality. Understand who you are. Understand that at the end of the day, that you have a life for a reason. There's 23,000 breaths that an average person takes just in one day. Now you times that by how many days that you actually been living, and that's 23,000 plus blessings that you've been receiving in your life every single day in one area of your life since you've been living. So we should take advantage of the breath that we have, right? Have faith from a distance, y'all. Because what we don't see is more important than what we do see. I know you don't see it right now. I know it's a struggle right now. I know things may get shaky right now. I know you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes some of us may feel underappreciated. I'm telling you right now, I appreciate you. As a father of a special needs son, I appreciate you. I really do. And you are needed in this world. And I know it may seem shaky, but understand, your purpose matters. And some of us may not feel like our purpose matters, but your purpose matters to somebody, and it should matter to you, okay? So take this with you guys, all right? Treat yourself right, value yourself, because the reality is, like my new book that came out today, I'll get you guys some copies, right? No physical body is coming to save us. Okay? Physical body. We gotta lead through the storm. We gotta put the work in. We're the ones that gotta do it. You wanna be a millionaire? Ain't nobody gonna be a millionaire for you. You gotta do the work. I'm not a millionaire yet, but I gotta do the work, right? So listen, y'all, that's my time. When we change the mind, we what? When we change the mind, we what? When we change the mind, we what? Listen, yesterday is gone. Thank you guys so much. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow will worry about itself. And today is all we have. Live beyond measure, y'all. One more time. When we change the mind, we what? When we change the mind, we what? That's the theme